underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 179. I'm your host, Greg Miller, alongside the rectum-rubbing Ryan Colin.
I don't like that one.
All right, we won't
that
use
one
it again.
isn't as good.
That one we'll never use again.
I enjoy that one.
He only does everything, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
And direct to drive demigod, Walter Lopez. Oh, that's right. Walter Lopez begged me to be on the show yesterday and then didn't show up to work today. So he's probably sick.
I will say that he was working till outrageously late hours last night.
So that gives him the right to stand up one of the greatest podcasts
but
about PlayStation.
America's most beloved podcast.
Perhaps I'm contextualizing things. That's all.
I will say
I'm going to
this, Walter.
contextualize you out of the building soon. How's that sound?
Walter not allowed on Podcast Beyond anymore.
Oh my gosh, that's
Anyone who stands us up.
He first off, I don't think we've run into this. You know, he got to start obviously as the owner of the official turtle of Podcast Beyond.
Who since passed, I believe.
I know. That's what I was going to say. I didn't. First off, Walter just gave him away, showing the real owner love you have for a turtle. And then, I guess he died, I heard.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Fare thee well.
Fare thee well, official turtle.
I bet Nate Dogg's riding them into the air right now.
Nate
going
Dogg?
to heaven.
Yeah, they're going to heaven together. The pearly gates.
That would be adorable.
The Podcast Beyond Turtle came down and picked him up.
And then Nate Dogg goes to heaven and the turtle goes to purgatory because he might have fucked up.
He was never baptized.
No, he wasn't, so he can't go.
Let's start the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report.
I just feel like that was
no.
a scandalous little opening right there.
What, the turtle part?
No, just the purgatory part wasn't baptized.
Oh,
Well, the turtle wasn't baptized, but he wasn't a bad turtle, so he doesn't have to go to hell. He just has to go to purgatory. He has to try again.
Well, purgatory isn't a very nice place either.
Purgatory's fine. Some people suggest that this is purgatory.
Roper Report.
Like the Lost.
Yeah.
Time for some news. This Roper Report was generated by Colin Moriarty, so the facts and opinions may have the Colin Moriarty spin on them, as they say.
So ready. This is my favorite part.
Number one, not surprisingly, the European ban on PlayStation 3 has been lifted. Up to 300,000 consoles were seized in the Netherlands after LG filed an injunction against Sony for copyright infringement. The litigation between the two companies continues unabated, however.
Yeah, so they'll continue to fight in court. But obviously, everyone was so worried. It's like Sony threw, I'm sure Sony threw everything to get that ban lifted. That's a huge thing, and obviously they're not going to, you're innocent until proven guilty. Even in the
Not
Netherlands.
in the Netherlands.
No?
No, I don't think that's how it works.
And speaking of PlayStation 3s and all this humbug-baloo, is that a thing? That's a thing.
Hullabaloo.
Yeah, hullabaloo. Is that it?
I like Hubbub Baloo.
Hubbub-baloo.
I did not. I did not realize that you can actually go onto like GameStop.com, and when you buy like PSN points or Xbox Live points, they just email you a redemption code. I guess I haven't done that in a long time because I've always just had my credit card associated with my account. But now I don't need to anymore. I don't have to take that risk.
What's the risk, though?
Well, the risk is that I just have some sort of weird feeling and having a credit card
Some kind of
stored.
weird feeling.
I have a weird feeling with storing my
might
credit
show
card
me.
information on the PlayStation 3 when everything's been like all hacked up.
Don't worry about it. You something gets hacked, and you just call Kaz up, and he'll
take care of it
for you.
All right.
Anyway, he keeps getting promoted,
Please continue.
No problem. This is a conversational podcast.
Yeah,
I want to hear you talk about this kind of stuff. All right. Number two. Are you excited about Infamous 2? Of course you are. If you go to infamousthegame.com right this very minute, you'll be able to sign up for the Infamous 2 Mission Creator Beta. You'll receive an email thereafter if you've been chosen. The beta begins on April 12th. Remember, the best missions created during the beta will be among the first batch of missions spotlighted by Sucker Punch when Infamous 2 is released on June 7th.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I like that.
Yeah, very cool.
I'm excited about that. I'm going to go on there. I'm going to make up some crazy stories to try to get in there.
Did you guys actually play the Mission Creator at all yet?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Hold on. We watched somebody fooling around, moving barrels, setting up things, and then we got to play missions that had already been created.
Okay,
but we didn't sit down and make missions at all.
Got it.
The tools, just watching it, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be tough for me.
Yeah. If you've played Little Big Planet, especially Little Big Planet 2, and you're familiar with circuit boards and how they all connect now, it's basically like that's exactly how it plays out, except the circuit board is just the level. So you're placing, generators and emitters on the ground and stringing them together. So, okay, when Cole moves to this point, this is going to trigger this over here, which will pop up a guy, and he'll run out from behind the house.
Oh, so there's like legitimate, just total level design in this.
Yeah.
Can you actually shape the environment, or is that all set?
No. You have access to all of New Marais. I'm not sure if you won the beta, but
Okay.
you get to go to wherever you want and set up a mission there and do it that way.
So do we foresee that this could have someone set up some outrageous explosion where things go flying through the air at at crazy speeds because they piled up a bunch of explosive barrels?
That sounds about right.
Okay, that's awesome.
I wonder if Media Molecule helped them do this.
It'd be interesting.
Is there any sort of video capture or replay feature available in Infamous 2 that we know of?
Not that we're aware of.
Wouldn't that be cool if you could do YouTube uploads?
Yeah.
I think any game that allows users to create things that are unusual and something would surprise you, I think a video capture or YouTube uploader tool is absolutely essential because you want to be able to share that stuff. You want to, if you made this level which causes Cole to fly to into space, you'd want to be able to show that. No one will believe you. You gotta have
I'll
pics.
believe you, Ron.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
Pixar didn't have it, indeed. Number 3. According to Bloomberg, the earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear reactors issues have, not surprisingly, taken their toll on the industrial production. Sony has closed down 6 of its factories in northeastern Japan, stopping production of Blu-ray discs, batteries, magnetic heads, and other items needed for manufacture. So that's bad news.
Yeah, so I mean that's going to affect.
If you're not caught up, there was an earthquake in Japan, and it caused a tsunami, and all hell broke loose, and it is bad over there.
It's
right
really bad.
Yeah, it's just getting worse.
Initially we were like, oh, okay, they were really well prepared. Maybe there weren't as many casualties as if they were not prepared.
Yeah.
But then, more and more reports came in of just how awful it was.
I remember that night, I was a little disturbed. I was a little annoyed actually because I was watching CNN or Fox News or something when it was happening. I went out to use the bathroom and Scott's sitting on the couch like, did you see this? And it just happened or whatever. And then I went back into my room. It was maybe midnight that night. And I was watching and they were showing footage, helicopter footage of the tsunami, and they were just talking very casually about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, people are dying down there. It's not probably and they're zooming in and stuff. You see, my girlfriend's like, holy shit, there's someone in that car that's being swept away. So that person's probably deceased now. So we got to see all those things. I appreciate that we want to have this up to the minute news kind of stuff, but I feel like it was kind of disrespectful to show those kinds of things.
Well, it was the first time you could cover a tsunami like that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever seen footage like that.
Yeah, they had seismologists.
Sweeping in.
They had seismologists on saying I've never seen anything like this before. They study it, but they don't, and they know what happens, but they've never seen it, which is cool, I guess, scientifically. And also, I'm a little disturbed by the Japanese government clearly lying to everyone about what's going on with the nuclear reactors, which is really disturbing. And I'm
why do you think they're lying now?
Because it's getting worse and worse. That's pretty much the consensus.
Yeah, well, they're reporting radiation levels 3 times as high as they should be in Tokyo right now.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to say they're lying, but it does seem from what I've heard and read that they are underreporting what's happening.
And maybe rightfully so. I was actually having a conversation again with my girlfriend yesterday, and I think they're probably doing the right thing by doing that because there's nowhere to go.
Cause massive panic, evacuate the entire country.
It's not like a nuclear. It's not like a meltdown here in California where we can just go to Utah and we'll be all right. They have nowhere to go, but it is a little disturbing that they're underreporting it, and you're reading all sorts of really interesting stuff about maybe a suicide mission might be necessary to go into one of these reactors, and stuff like that. That's kind of scary stuff, and I feel like they're underprepared, and if anything, we need the Army Corps of Engineers and some maybe American prowess and some international prowess over there to take care of the problem, because it's scary and I don't think they can.
I don't know if you should say they're underprepared though. They're probably infinitely more prepared for this sort of thing than we would have been.
Their buildings are and stuff like that, but they don't have the problem is it's not even the failure in the reactors themselves. It's that the backup generators failed, and so all the fail safes I guess have failed too. So they're in the process of melting. I guess some of these reactors are in the process of melting down. China syndrome stuff. You know what I mean?
It's that's the most horrifying thing. It's something out of science fiction that you would. We probably. I don't want to make all our listeners all depressed.
That's not depressing. I think it's interesting, dude. I'd rather die in a nuclear blast any day than have radiation poisoning. I'm just throwing that out there. So I feel really bad for for what's going on over there. It's horrifying what's going on over there. There's nothing worse than radiation poisoning. And if the radiation levels start to rise, in the immediate area around those reactors, it's scary stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're depressing listeners as much as we are just having a conversation about it and how it affects video games, because Wesley wrote into Beyond at IGN.com and said, what effect do you think the current crisis in Japan will have on the year of the PlayStation? He goes on, of course, to say, it seems like a trivial thing, I know, but just questioning because we are a video game show.
Yes.
From what what Bloomberg is reporting, it would seem like you're going to get a drop off there in system production, right? They can't get as much stuff out. As far as games, I don't think it'll be that great of a changeover, right? From everything we've heard, it seems like what do you? I'm searching for words here. Colin's writing me notes.
Take your time. Take your time.
I'm too tired. No. everything seems like right that like the main sense of gaming or development in Japan, right? Geez, I'm all over the place. Basically, I'm saying
take a breath.
The areas hit weren't like the ones that are directly affecting gaming, right? Like they were rural farming communities, and there's definitely ripple effects throughout the country. Things are definitely off track over there in a way of like now they got to get back to their daily lives or whatever. But it seems like production schedules, unless the reactor stuff gets really bad, is only off by like a week maybe. You know what I mean? Like people can stay on, stuff like that. Interesting, there is a delay of Motorstorm Apocalypse over there. Motorstorm Apocalypse came out in the UK, kind of. It's been reported now that the release date officially is being moved away, just out of being sensitive to what's happening over there, because the whole game is about an earthquake happening and you driving through the destruction. Yeah. Which, man, talk about just a short end of a stick on that one, huh? Yeah. God, like I'm gonna spend 3 years working on a game. Blah blah. Blah. Ah, damn it. You know what I mean? Like, geez,
and there's nothing they can do.
Nothing they can do, and it's an interesting not argument, but it's interesting to see them, say, okay, we'll take a step back. We're not going to do this. You know what I mean? And how that affects people and what they think of it. Because honestly, I didn't even put it together when I first read the news story until they're like, oh yeah, okay, the earthquake, yeah, makes sense.
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, because we're talking about the disaster and whatnot. Can I say my little news bit that we just talked about before the show? Remember?
Yes.
I said I had something fun. Well, it wasn't fun.
But you didn't tell me what it was.
It's really nice.
Square's doing something, right?
Yeah, I just read a press release that said Square Enix is donating 100 million Japanese yen to the disaster relief efforts, and they're also doing a bunch of employee contributions. Anyone that wants to, which I just think is fantastic, because obviously they there are things to worry about, and yet they are throwing this huge amount of money at disaster relief. So I think that's fantastic. I applaud Square Enix and its employees, because that's amazing.
I think it's really nice too. I mean, I was just reading. Well, the first thing I want to say is every once in a while a listener of the podcast reaches out to us from Japan. So I want to say anyone that's listening. We probably don't have many listeners in Japan, but but I want them all to be safe. Take care of yourself and all those things. But I also say I was reading some really cool things about some small developers in Japan, like right after the events in Tokyo and stuff like that, letting people into their offices, like saying like they can accommodate 40 people or whatever, and like letting them have a place to drink some water and have a meal and like sleep or whatever, which I think is really cool. So it seems like everyone's coming together. Also, the Emperor of Japan gave a speech, which is super rare, saying like they all need to help each other out and like really get through this together, which I think is really cool. So I think they're all banding together and making it happen. And I think that honestly, if there's a society out there that can live through something like this and really survive and prosper thereafter, I feel like it's the Japanese. They're an industrious people.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
If you would like to help out Japan and all its subsidiaries, you can obviously just go and donate to the Red Cross. However, IGN is holding 24 games for 24 hours to benefit tsunami relief. You can find all the information at tinyurl.com/IGN-loves-Japan. That's all lowercase. Basically, what's happening is the AU guys over in Australia are playing Japanese 24 games and for an hour apiece for 24 hours straight as like a telethon.
24 Japanese games
exactly.
that they love.
By the time you get this podcast on Thursday, it'll have already started. It starts Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific time, ends Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. They have a whole bunch of events and stuff scheduled for you to do there. Find the article there. Go ahead and donate. Wanted to give a special shout-out to Again Cadet. This man wrote in, I don't know his real name, but he lives in Sendai City. He wanted to thank IGN for doing their part to help out. Glad you guys are there, blah, blah. And then at the end of his little comedy, he wrote Beyond. So there you go.
Beyond.
Yeah, we see you. We thank you.
Sendai
Stay
is
safe.
definitely, I think, hit the hardest.
Yeah,
right?
he says, I live in Sendai City and things are pretty bad out here. Yes.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, take care of yourself over there.
Okay. Now we're going to get to some real bad news.
Okay.
That's all Colin's fault. THQ stock dropped nearly 20% on Tuesday due to lukewarm reviews for Homefront. However, THQ announced that its first day, Homefront sold 375,000 units. Colin, why do you hate Homefront?
I don't hate Homefront. I think it's a good game.
Homefront's fun.
Actually, Colin probably gave it one of the better scores among his peers. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like what people don't seem to understand is that, I got a lot of grief in the comments because everyone's like, oh, all these reviews were posted. They gave a game a 9 or whatever. Those reviews were posted early for a reason. And
you were embargoed?
Yeah, I was embargoed, and I couldn't, talk about the game. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't like it. I actually really like the game. And I even say in my closing comments that I really, really like the game. It's just like I have to temper the fact that I like the setting and the plot, which are things that are cool but not important to the gameplay.
Yeah.
With the fact that it's it's a good shooter and it's fun. It's just really short. The multiplayer is fun. Mm-hmm. I know Greg enjoyed himself.
I had a great time with it.
I think he wanted
Beat the
more.
whole thing.
Doesn't take long. I mean, that's the problem.
Doesn't take long.
I mean, that was the major disappointment is that I'm not going to. Everyone's saying Call of Duty has short campaigns and stuff, that doesn't mean it's okay. I like a game with a longer campaign. It doesn't have to be BioShock, but it needs to be I want a game that's 8 to 10 hours. I mean, that's what I expect. And if I'm not going to give a game a great score that's charging you $12 an hour for gameplay, it's just not acceptable to me.
I think it would have been if it had been tighter, if the story had been a bit tighter, I think I would have been overwhelmingly happy with what you are. I hate long shooters. Really long shooters get boring to me, you know what I mean? Because I am doing the same thing over and over, especially then when you run into the few places where you're like dying over and over again. You keep getting shot in the head by some random guy. Like, fuck it, god damn it.
Yep.
And like this one, I only had a few moments of those where I was like pissed, but then I got right back to how great I liked the setting, how awesome it was to be walking and shooting people in a Hooters or going through a destroyed Tiger Direct. Like, that was awesome. Like, all the stuff they did as far as setting in America was great, and like those set pieces and making me feel. And I liked the characters a lot. The voice acting I thought was really good too. But like the ending I thought was really flat. It was like, oh, and we're done.
Yeah, it's anticlimactic, and it's but like again, if the game. Like, I gave the presentation a 9. I mean, it's a lot of people seem to, look past.
Nobody reads it. They just jump to the end.
Yeah, it's like setting, the plot, the story, all that stuff, characters, awesome. Just like Greg said, it's really cool. It's just, it was underdeveloped and underused, and I think they put a lot of their resources into multiplayer, which is fine, because the multiplayer is really fun.
Yeah,
but we need a longer campaign. Some people don't want to play online. Some people don't even have, their PlayStation is not even online. They can only play the single-player game. I know that I personally like shooters that are single-player. Yeah. And just because other shooters do the same thing doesn't excuse it. If we keep letting that go, as critics and as gamers, then we're going to keep getting 5-hour campaigns.
Yeah.
So why don't we say we want something more? We like this, but this game needs to be longer. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ben Mo 316 wrote into Beyond at IGN.com. He's got a follow-up question. He says Beyond.
Yeah.
I was reading the article from good old JR, Jim Riley, about Homefront selling over 300,000 units in its first day. To the average person, like myself, that sounds like a lot. In the industry, is that considered a good first day of sales? What is a number we, the general public, should look for that actually means a game sold very well? Is 300,000 really that many? Thanks, guys. Colin, you run the NPD? There it is.
Yeah, all right, so we can't use numbers, but I think I can maybe use some comparisons. I don't think that's wrong.
Well, yeah.
I'll tell you this. Okay, first of all, 375,000 units is more than 99% of games sell. Period. So they sold that in one day. That's more units than Killzone sold in its first week. Also, Killzone 3. So that is a considerable amount of units. Now, it was long rumored that THQ kept saying that they had 200,000 pre-orders for the game. So that explains some of it. Obviously, people like the setting, stuff like that. If you're into alternate history, future history, Red Dawn, and all that stuff, obviously you're going to want to get that game. So yeah, it's a really successful product. We talk about Singularity and joke around. Singularity sold like a third of that total. Almost.
What about Rogue Warrior?
Rogue Warrior is probably even lower than that. So I mean, 375,000 is wildly successful. Not everything is going to sell 13 million units like Call of Duty Black Ops did. But also the rumor is that, and THQ has talked pretty openly that they've spent so much money on Homefront that they need to sell 2 million units to break even. Now,
that's crazy.
Are they going to reach that number? I don't know. Yep. But yes, as far as first day sales, that's wildly successful.
So how does that affect the stock drop and everything? Do you think this? I haven't seen they put that report out yesterday of the 300,000. I didn't hear anything about it jumping back up.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I mean, all right. So we're talking about relative terms. A 20% drop seems significant, but THQ stock was only like $5.50. So that's only like $1 loss, which is a lot of money when your stock is that low. Or whatever. Yeah. That's not to say that the stock's not popular. It's just to say it's not Microsoft. And it sounds to me like, they want to announce the numbers. They're obviously not going to lie, but that seems like to soothe over some stockholders and get some people back in the game.
Yeah.
And let's not also forget, and I was talking about this with someone, that same thing happened to EA when Medal of Honor came out and it got bad reviews. Yeah. And the game sold like 6 million copies or something like that. And the people that held on to their stock are the ones that laughed all the way to the bank. So a similar thing can happen here, too. It's a matter of if you're willing to take a risk or not.
So you're saying I should go buy some THQ stock?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Of course, there'd be a conflict of interest.
That would be a huge conflict of interest. And also, you'd have to buy like 10,000 shares for you to make any money.
No big deal. So. I'll take out a loan. NBD.
No big deal.
Oh, okay. I thought you were making fun of my...
Nope, NBD. I had never heard that, and then Christine actually started using that, NBD for no big deal, and I thought it was hilarious.
Number 5. Developer Acquire, the minds behind Tenchu, are developing 2 new games for the NGP. One of them is described as stealth action game. Sounds like we're getting a Tenchu game on the NGP! Exclamation mark!
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Tenchu, man. I remember the Tenchu games.
I love Tenchu. Tenchu's awesome.
Man, some of those games though, they weren't as good as the originals.
Well, I think these guys only did the 2 first games.
Okay, got it.
On PSX.
Yeah. No, I recognize the name Acquire, and Tenchu was certainly good times
So you're
back
excited.
in the day.
You're ready.
Stealth
How many
Assassin, bro.
NGP should I put you down for? on day
Probably 7 to 8.
1? Okay, that's what I want to
Yes.
hear. Number 6. Remember, if you have PlayStation Plus, you'll be able to get the SOCOM 4 beta on Tuesday, March 22nd. If you got a code with Killzone 3, you'll be good to go on Tuesday. The Tuesday after that, March 29th. The beta ends on April 13th. The game comes out April 19th.
I'm a little confused by that. Well, I was thinking about it when I was writing it, which was they're only giving themselves 6 days to fix the game before the game comes out.
DC Universe beta went up like 2 weeks before the game came
Yeah,
out.
look how well that turned out.
Hey! Touchy subject. You can stop it right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're pretty confident in it. I mean, you figure it started, though, this week.
Yeah, people are already playing it right
Private
now.
beta invitations went out this week.
And the game's been in development for a very long time, and they already pushed it back. So you're probably right. It probably is ready, and they can always patch it. So.
Speaking of getting
Oh,
into the
they
beta,
can always patch it.
my good friend here, Heinrich, who spelled out his name phonetically, which then made it more confusing for me. 'Cause I don't know. Anyways, he ran into me at PAX East. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Said, yeah, I like to say Beyond to
Beyond.
the team for the thousands of laughs you've given me over the years. Sat behind Greg at PAX East's Uncharted 3 panel, and he was nice enough to talk to me. I later saw him again at the meet and greet where he signed a SOCOM 4 beta code. He wrote, hey, use this wisely, Beyond. And I'm going to do just that by giving it to you guys, my fellow listeners. I have mine when I bought Killzone 3, so it's only right that somebody should get the code. So here it is. RAL4T3NRD3KB. To Colin and Ryan, history and anime are both awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Heinrich.
That is fantastic.
Yes, it's true, isn't it?
Heinrich is an awesome name,
Heinrich's
by
a
the
great
way.
name, yeah.
I'll
I
name my
think-
first son Heinrich.
I was just about to say that. Damn it.
I beat you. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
Great minds.
Yeah, great minds.
Okay, number 7. Bethesda announced that Prey 2 is in development and is being handled by Human Head Studios. Awesome name. The team behind the original Prey. Though it was reported that Prey 2 would run on id Tech 5, the same engine Rage and Doom will run on, that's since been corrected. Presumably, Prey 2 will run on old id Tech 4. Man.
I thought you were going to be like, it will run on Intel 6. It's not even in development yet.
Yeah, id Tech 5 apparently is not even done. So I mean, I don't think. I mean, we know Rage and I guess Rage and Doom 4 will run on it, but I guess they're still tweaking it. So outside developers won't be able to license it yet.
I gotcha. Did that do anything for you? You excited about that?
About Prey 2?
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited about friggin' Doom 4 though.
Or
and
Rage. Rage
saw
is
Rage
going
at
to be
PAX.
awesome. Meh? You're out of your
I'm confused by
mind,
that,
dude.
I really
You're
am.
out of your mind.
I don't understand why you're all so excited. It's a beautiful game. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Cool.
And the gameplay.
I have no
in it-
voice.
The gameplay
I
in
don't
it looks
say anything,
so
but
fun.
people respond to me as if I said something.
Oh yeah, welcome to Half-Life, bro.
I know a game I also did not enjoy and stopped playing.
Wow.
But dude, you know what? This is a big deal. I mean, in a kind of an overarching way. Like it doesn't. This is a new id property. They don't make many of those.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, it's like Wolfenstein and Doom, and then Quake, and now you have Rage. So it's like,
So it's 3 games that are old and over and done with.
well, Doom's not over and
now
done.
they're giving one out.
I'm just saying it's cool. Like they're doing something different and new or whatever. And they have a pretty good track record. So I would be pretty excited about Rage. Plus, Carmack's hands were all over this game. So I think that's a good sign too.
That man could program the galaxy. That's
He
all I'm
certainly
saying.
can.
Here's something I will say to you.
Mm-hmm.
The silent protagonist is, I think, an absolutely fantastic tool, even though it's very controversial. And as you say, I mean, as you've already noted, it's not, and not everybody loves it.
Yeah.
But I think that the silent protagonist is great because it is really just a tool for you to develop an attachment to everyone else in the game.
Agreed.
You're-
When it's done right, I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Watching the Rage demo, it was very.
Well, that's a demo. I mean,
Well, I mean, it was an hour. At PAX East, you could go to these. They had a giant ballroom, and you went and you sat down, and they played for an hour, and did very minimal talking over it while they ran around. Beautiful game, like I said. But you'd walk up and talk, tap A to talk to somebody, and they start talking to you, and then they'd like ask you a question, you wouldn't respond, and then they'd go on as if you had. And as soon as it happened, I was like, really? Come on. And then at Homefront, I play all of Homefront, get to the very end, and there's one part where, I don't want to ruin it, but you get separated from the pack, right? And you can still hear them in your earpiece, and they're like, where'd it go? I don't know, blah. And that was the first time where I went, wait, why don't I say anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why am I not yelling back? And then I came in the next day, I'm like, Colin, are you silent the entire, like, it was so well done in Homefront story that there was never a moment early on where I was like, I should be saying something right now. This is where I was walking around and they were talking to me and making me feel like part of the group and explaining, it was so seamless. That storytelling was so good. Mm-hmm. To then go back and compare it to Rage, where it was just like, hello, what do you want? Well, that's interesting, but over here, yeah.
We'll see. All I'm saying is that I don't think I think the silent protagonist does work well sometimes.
I agree. No,
we'll see.
We'll
see. I mean, I would really need to play Rage to be able to tell.
Okay. The free-to-play MMO Free Realms is finally coming to PlayStation 3. You can download it for free on the PSN March 29th. There's a lot of free content to play. We're saying free a lot. But gamers can choose to pony up some money if they want to unlock all the content, lift the level cap, and more. Why are you fucking text messaging?
I'm not text messaging anything. I was looking at something.
On the tweets? Oh, his kid you yelled at?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if he didn't respond yet.
Free Realms do anything for anybody? Anybody excited about this?
I actually am interested. I'm not excited, but I'm interested in it. First of all, the download's going to be free, so I'm obviously going to try it. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's going to have trophies. So, all right, so this is the question we've been getting a lot. I actually talked to someone specifically about this.
Uh-huh.
Everything that is not a PS1 classic or a program, like an application, has to have trophies.
What about the minis?
In the minis, but I mean on PlayStation Network, like the PS3-centric games.
Uh-huh.
Things that you can't play on PSP, for instance.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, obviously Free Realms is going to have trophies.
Okay.
But I wonder if the trophies...
What if they consider it like an app similar to like a Netflix? Netflix doesn't give you trophies.
That's true. That would be awesome if you got Netflix trophies. I probably would have earned them all.
Well, why wouldn't you have done that? Yeah, like Game Center? Like give like goofy things trophies?
Yeah, it would be awesome if Game Center's like, watch every game from your favorite team or something like that.
Here's something else I've always liked too, and I haven't really, I don't make it a habit of pitching ideas to Sony. This is one I've always wished they would do though, right? And it's gonna sound really cheap at first because obviously we'd be the ones getting it. But I wish that when you, like, how they always give away these, they give away T-shirts or swag or whatever. Most of the time we all turn it down. We're like, yeah, I got enough of this stuff. Don't worry. If they gave, I think it'd be a really cool community tool if when we went to a GDC event or you went to an E3 press conference or whatever, you got a viral trophy. So they gave you a download code for a gold trophy that would just be bling, I attended the E3 thing, blah, blah, blah. But then everyone on my friends list got it too. Like it would be like automatic. Next time they turned on and they like checked my profile, it would ding for them. And then so on and so forth and so forth. So it kind of just infected out to people who had done it. Eventually it could be that, everybody in the world would have it, whatever. But it would still be this, I was there for the debut of Infamous 5, you know what I mean? And then and then in parentheses, or knew somebody who was.
Yeah, I like that idea.
They
Come
do.
on, Jeff,
I mean, they have.
Rubenstein, get your wife on that one.
They have those kind of
make
achievements on Xbox Live apparently.
Yeah, right. No, and they have them. No, they have them in PS3 games too. Rockstar is very big on that. I killed a developer, killed somebody who had killed
but also, I mean, I think Arthur was telling me how they have an achievement for people who attended this one event.
Oh, really?
You just got this achievement that was worth no points. It was just for the fact.
I want points.
Yeah, we gotta have points.
I want a platinum.
Doesn't that seem a little risky though? Having a trophy that actually gives you something.
Clements, if they let me buy trophies off the PSN, I would buy trophies off the PSN.
Really? You really would?
Yeah, $5 for a one-time gold? Hell yeah. There you go.
No way.
Yeah,
for a gold?
Totally. Yeah.
That's
I do it for a bronze. If they brought the price down, 99 cents for a bronze. I can buy a bronze every year. Yeah, I'll do that.
My 2011 don't mean anything.
They mean something to me.
All right.
Speaking of which, Colin, you're not catching up, I've noticed.
I've been hatching a plan.
Oh, have you? Okay, good. Do you want to reveal it yet or no? You going to stew on it a little bit longer?
No, the plan's already been enacted.
Oh, what is the plan?
Yeah.
All right, good. I can't wait to see what's happening. Right now, Cheryl's at home just playing that move stacker game she likes so much.
No,
why did I picture her like with a giant lever? I guess that's how you control trophies.
You
pulled away from me a little bit, so I'm trying to. I'm gonna rectify the situation.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Rectify.
Number 9. Although no specific date has been given, Sony announced that Beyond Good and Evil HD is finally coming to the PlayStation Network this May.
I like Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Already out on Xbox.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really like
shut up
that
about it on Twitter.
You won't?
No.
I love that game.
You leave that man alone. He's a saint.
I saw you doing a lot of tweeting with Tim during PAX.
It was great.
He's on my plane.
I was live blogging on Twitter everything Tim Schafer was doing on the plane. Then he got sat down and found out. He's like, "Stop doing that, you creeper!" All right, number 10. This isn't news, but be sure to read Jim's ridiculously long interview, David Jaffe on IGN. It's great. Agreed. Really, really good.
I haven't read it yet. I want
It's
to.
really
It's so interesting. Yeah,
It's
he
really
calls
good.
us out. He calls everybody out. Like, not us, Beyond. I mean, IGN.
Oh, okay.
And just $60 games, and it's really interesting. Jaffe's a outspoken young man. So,
Yes.
he goes.
He is.
down.
He is quite the personality.
Also, if you didn't know, sorry, David Jaffe, Twisted Metal dude. He's working on it now. Obviously, created the franchise. Original director of God of War. A laundry list of games, including Calling All Cars.
I would like to say here's a little bit of nostalgia for you guys.
Uh-huh.
David Jaffe, first person I ever interviewed in the video game industry.
No way.
Mere like weeks after I started at my position.
How did
Calling
that
All
go?
Cars?
It went well. I remember him talking about how they originally wanted to create like a car PG where it was an RPG but all the characters were cars. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it is funny.
Okay. Colin, you missed one thing
What is that?
that I'd like to put up for
Okay.
a thing, and it'll lead into a PAX discussion real quick. Uncharted 3 got its first piece of DLC already. The game not even out. Months from now, it's out. But at the end of this PAX panel at PAX East, which was in Boston this past weekend, they gave away the codes for a character skin. No idea what it is. That sucks. But they gave away a bunch. And Greg Miller was there and stole a bunch. So I have a whole bunch to give away to the Podcast Beyond crew. The way we're going to do it is something interesting, though, okay? So, what?
Sorry. So
That's right. Oh, you're
someone
fine.
might be getting a call because
Well,
I just
it's
heard
probably just
some
downloading info.
some crackling.
You know how it goes. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Walter Lopez was supposed to be on the show today. He did not come on the show today. So I'm encouraging everyone to go to Walter Lopez's My IGN wall and just write, Slopez sucks. Slopez being, his name's Lopez. So just put a capital S in front of that. All one word, Slopez. That's what I started calling him at PAX. He's not a fan.
Okay.
So you can say, Slopez sucks!
He's not a
exclamation point. Then I guess send me an email that, hey, I did it, and here's my IGN username, so I can see it, and I get it, and then I'll just go in order. Everybody who does that, and until I'm out of codes, you get codes.
Make sure to
Do
send
they
one
have to
aside
take
for
a
me.
screenshot, you said, of
I
doing
said-
that?
Well, I guess.
No, you can just go to the wall and look, probably, right? If you,
Yeah,
you
but
correlate the
how do we stop
name with-
people from going there, I guess, and just saying that I'm that person?
That's
It's interesting.
That's an
How do we get around that one?
point. Yes.
Hold on, think it through. Okay, now that doesn't work. Do we still have private messages? Is my IGN private message? Here's what we do. I'm dumb. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to go to people.ign.com/snackpack. SNAKPAKK. 2 K's at the end of snack pack there.
Right.
You post Slopez sucks! ! Then you come with your my IGN username to my wall and say, I did it. And then I can go check that you did. Then I will privately message you through my IGN, which I'm pretty sure you can still do.
Okay.
There we go.
That's gonna be quite the ordeal.
I don't care. I don't have like a million
I just want you to
codes.
consider how long it took us to send out all the packages we sent out.
This is easier. It's a code you type in. I'll do this tonight when I get home after I play some games.
Oh no! And remember, I have that other giveaway that it's just the single package though.
Yeah, when are we gonna do that?
Do you remember when I got it during GDC? I can talk about it later.
Yeah.
Want to save it for the end of the show?
Yeah, that'll be the
All right.
freebie for the end of the show.
All right, cool.
Everybody,
That's a
though,
good one.
go make fun. Slopez sucks on Snack Pack's wall. Yeah, that's the end of the report.
He was not
Also, I want to say just real quick.
the
So,
end of the
so
report.
I went through the game library. I
That's the
pulled
end
out.
of the report.
That is the end of the Roper Report, Greg. I understand that as well as anybody.
End of the report.
Yeah. I went through the game library a few weeks ago. I pulled out a bunch of PSP games and
Hell
PS3
yeah, you
games
did.
we didn't need. I gave them all away on Twitter. So unfortunately, I am out of games to give away for the time being. But I'm glad that they're going to good homes. Some of these games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some
With-
of these games.
with large
Some are going
passes.
to
Some are
terrible
Some are
homes.
going to bad homes, but some are going to good homes.
At least you know it.
I would like to say I think that might be a record for the Roper Report because that was a solid 34
I know
minutes.
that was a long one.
of
That was a long
reporting.
one. We had a lot of good discussions.
Yeah, absolutely.
we brought in a lot of reader mail too,
Yes.
so it all worked out. In the
Plus, we
end.
talked about Japan for like 10 minutes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
and it needed to be done.
Absolutely.
Before we get into what games are and forever will be coming to stores this week, I do want to talk about PAX East real quick. Just a quick aside. I mean, there's no real news out of it. I just want to, as always, tell you how great everybody is who's a Podcast Beyond /IGN fan. You guys, as usual, rocked my socks. We had a dynamite time. Ballparking it, we had, in and out, people coming and going. IGN meet and greet on Saturday night probably had about 300, a little bit more people come to that. The GameScoop panel on Sunday, which we were the last panel in that room. People are trying to catch flights. People changed their flights for us. A lot of people couldn't. No big deal. We got 700 people in that room. Like, that's amazing. Like, you guys are awesome. Thanks to everyone who, backed me up when I told Damon we shouldn't leave that one bar, and then we wandered around the streets of Boston for an hour, and then we came back to the same bar I said we should have never left. Damon, you're dumb.
Damon told me that story, by the way.
Huh?
Did you go to Northeastern?
No, I wanted to real bad, but I had no idea where it was. Well, you said it wasn't close to where we were.
No, it's not. It's by Prudential Center.
Oh well. Of course.
I keep getting some tweets, and some young kids are getting into Northeastern University, the old alma mater.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think you need to go there.
All right.
Become a Husky.
If anybody gets accepted to University of Rochester in New York, which is my school,
Yeah.
send me an email with a.
What if they're enrolled right now?
They can also do that.
Okay.
Send me an email, and I'll think of something.
Okay. Everybody go to Mizzou too. Don't forget.
Yes.
Before we get too off track though, yeah. Huge success, PAX East. Thanks everybody for coming. Dynamite time. The My IGN kids were great. If you're not using My IGN, you should get on My IGN. It's basically a social networking service here we run at IGN for gamers, and there was like 30 of them staying at one hotel. They have all these huge party photos. They were all cool kids. I love hanging out with them whenever I get the chance. Next chance will be PAX Prime, I guess, most likely, right? Comic-Con, stuff like that. Plenty of chances to hang out. And here's something else interesting. This is in the very early beta stages. I've only told Colin, Clements, we've been super busy this week. I haven't had a chance to talk to you.
No problem. I'm ready.
I don't want to give out super specifics, but basically what I want to know is what are we at? 21 episodes away from episode 200. So for real, if we held a live podcast in San Francisco, how many of you would be coming? This is you're not RSVPing right now, but I'm trying to get a head count so I can figure out where I could do this. I have an idea of where I'd want to do it, how I'd want the whole thing to do.
Okay.
But I need you to send an email to beyond@ign.com if you'd be coming to a live podcast panel in San Francisco, roughly August-ish, June, or July.
June to August. No, yeah, it would be
summertime.
Let's.
Right?
Who has a calendar?
Well, no, it's 20 weeks. We're 21 weeks away.
So yeah, all right. So yeah. So
5 months ish.
Yeah, so it's gotta be August or September.
Okay, August or September if you'd have the capabilities to come to San Francisco.
Let's watch out.
I know.
September I'll be in Japan.
I know. No, we wouldn't do without you.
Okay.
There would no way podcast beyond. There might be a podcast beyond 199.1, but there would be no 200
we did that last
without
time.
you. Yeah. So don't sweat it. Beyond@ign.com if you come. Please, I know you're all good kids. Only send serious responses.
Yes.
You only screw us up if you send joking ones.
Yeah. If you can't come, we won't be upset.
No,
if you're far away, no problem.
Please don't do the normal thing like when I post up, I'm like, hey, meet and greet here, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to come, but I'm in the UK. Oh, man, do one in Georgia. That doesn't help me. That doesn't help me for what I'm doing at the moment. I will do a meet and greet wherever I can. Shut up.
Yeah.
Colin.
Well, I just want to say real quick, too. I mean, I like the idea that you had yesterday when you talked to me. The Rope Report is over, Greg. About, so maybe we would do it here in the office. Then we go to a bar or something. We go bar hop with some people.
It's funny when I said I don't want to give out details, and you're just shouting out details.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's an idea. So it's not like you're.
This show's over.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Greg has put down his headphones. Now he's putting them back on.
So I like the idea of like maybe doing something like that where we can make it, so people don't, if they have to come from far away, they know they're not just coming for an hour podcast. That's what I'm trying to say. So don't get mad at me.
You know what, Colin? You've been getting an attitude ever since this Homefront thing. I'm kidding. No, yeah. If you came, I should point out, yes, this would be a day activity. We would be doing things, and we would go out afterwards, and we would all hang out. It would be
so I'm just saying,
a giant meet and greet party.
I'm not saying it's going to necessarily be here. I'm just saying that don't worry, like if you're going to come out of your way and you're only going to sit here for an hour and then have to go home. We'll go have drinks and we'll go have a good time.
And plus, I'm sure there'd be a My IGN contingent here to hang out with, even if me and Clements rocket ship to the moon.
Rocket to the moon.
Colin.
Yeah.
If I wanted to know what games came to the store this week, where could I go to find this out?
None of your business.
I don't like when we fight.
The official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editor. So last week was an exciting week because we had a PS2 game. No PS2 game this week. Also no PSP games. At least retail. But PS3 we have quite a list here of 8 games.
Lay it on me.
Homefront.
Yeah.
Fit in 6.
Of course.
Which I guess is an exercise game. Top Spin 4.
Yes.
Yakuza 4.
Yes.
Dance on Broadway, which I'm definitely going to play.
Holla!
Artanel Koga Nell of RCL.
Yep.
Warriors Legends of Troy. And MotoGP 10-11.
Wow. Lot of AAA games there.
Red, white.
Convict.
Would you guys like the digital stuff?
I would love it.
Yes.
All right.
Here's
what came out this.
Isn't that how digital stuff works? I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's so sprayed. It comes spraying out of your PlayStation.
Oh, the Digibytes are in my hair.
Digibytes. You're messing up my makeup. All right. Anyway, so digital stuff that came out this week.
Yeah.
Here's some downloadable games.
Yeah.
Slam Bolt Scrappers.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what that is?
I gave it a 5.5.
You gave it a 5.5. This is the crazy game.
Mm-hmm.
What have I created? What's this thing that I made?
Thing I have made?
I totally didn't realize that was the name. Yeah, go look at Colin's review. It's a crazy game. Also, Hardcore Uprising, which is the spiritual.
Playing some of that this weekend.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Spiritual successor / predecessor /
It's Contra.
prequel.
It's a Contra game.
Yeah, it's a Contra game. Anyway, what else we got? Prince of Persia. Huh? Wait.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
This is the new one?
No, I think that's a mistake because I didn't even put that in the PSN update because I think all 3 of those have already come out digitally, so I think that's just a mistake.
All right, then. Cool. Then we got some demos, including a demo for Mortal Kombat, which talked to both Greg and Colin about. Really enjoyed. Definitely dig in the Mortal Kombat. I'm already that demo actually pretty much sold me on the game already. I'm very interested.
Mortal Kombat's cool. I'm really a fan.
There's also a demo for Plants vs Zombies. If you're foolish enough to have not played it yet,
I think everyone on the planet has played it. Also, this is something Colin was very happy about. PS1 Classics Parasite Eve for $5.99. Classic PlayStation game.
Awesome game.
See the charming Aya Bray shoot some monsters because she's shooting monsters with her.
Chrysler Building.
Is that? Oh yeah, that's yeah.
It's a short game, which is cool too, and you can go back and play it again. It's a unique game. It's a survival horror RPG action game by Square from the golden era of Square games. Squaresoft, exactly.
Yes.
Not Square Enix. Squaresoft. And hopefully we'll get the second one. Remember, Third Birthday, the long-awaited third game of the Parasite Eve series, comes out on PSP later this month.
It's coming out, and actually that game definitely has promise, potential. I'm really interested to see. I believe I want to say Patch from our Australian team is reviewing that, and I'm curious to see what he thinks because it definitely has promise. I played it a couple times. And,
I'm gonna play it.
I'm gonna play it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, and then Square Enix has confirmed Parasite Eve 2 will come as a PS1 classic at some point.
Yeah.
Probably just next week.
I suspect next week.
Yeah, just probably next week. Also, just to let you guys know, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 got the additional character DLC. I don't know if this is new, but it says that it's new here.
Yeah, it is.
Both Jill and Shuma Gorath are like downloadable characters.
Way too expensive.
Stop. Tyson has a question for you. He sent to beyond@ign.com.
I'm ready.
Ryan.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting a game, Mass Effect 2, or Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or Mortal Kombat. He doesn't have much money to spend. What would you sway him to?
Oh my God, that's really hard. Well, we haven't played Mortal Kombat yet.
Correct, but we like the demo.
We really like the demo. I'm so jazzed for friggin' the Mortal Kombat demo. I'd almost say Mortal Kombat, even though Mass Effect's probably a better
If you've
game.
never played Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 2 is an amazing game.
Yeah.
In terms of fighters, I'd say Mortal Kombat. I'm way more excited for Mortal Kombat than I was
for
Marvel
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a fantastic fighter, but I'm right now more excited about the Mortal Kombat remake.
X-rays.
/ reboot.
Boobs.
But what I suspect with that question is, he says he doesn't have a lot of money to spend on the games or whatever. I think that if he doesn't want Mass Effect 2, so he wants a fighting game. I can't speak for Mortal Kombat yet, but I know that he's going to get a lot of bang for his buck with Marvel vs. Capcom because that game.
300 tower challenges in Mortal Kombat.
Well,
including headless mode.
Well, I mean, just think about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 had a thriving community for 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're dead now. Like, they're all dead.
They're all dead?
They're not all dead.
Is the community still going?
No, the community's still there.
Yeah, I think Mark Ryan was saying that people still play.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Let me just continue on real quick, gentlemen. Let me find my place. PlayStation Store for PSP. Did we talk about Major League Baseball 2K11?
We did not.
That's out.
Okay.
And also Jacandia, The Timeless Land.
Damon Hatfield reviewed that. He did not give it a glowing review.
It was not a glowing review?
No,
that's too bad.
I would not buy that one.
Also, where is it? Where is it?
What minis? What did Rubenstein kick out
I'm
this
looking.
week?
You guys got to give me just 1 second. I love that song. I love that song.
There's steam coming out of pipe.
So first of all, for anyone that is a big Dissidia fan, you can now purchase it's sort of the pre-release DLC this week. So what it is it's essentially a demo that you pay for, but it's content that you don't get in the full game. So you get to try out the game for $2.99 and kind of see what you think, see how you like it. And then if you do like it, you not only can import the items that you earn in that piece of DLC into the main game, but it also gives you an exclusive assist character, Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, famous character. You can you can call her in during combat and she can like help you. That's that's the special little thing that you will get. PSP Minis.
Yeah, here we go.
Enigmo.
Okay.
It has 50 mind-bending levels to solve, 8 objects to manipulate, several solutions for the every puzzle, endless fun.
For the every puzzle?
For the every puzzle.
Oh, good.
Sounds great.
And then we have Ancient Game Treasures Mill.
That's the word. I actually looked that one up. I'm like, that can't be the name.
Can I read it? Can I
Please
read
do.
this? All right. Ancient Game Treasures Mill includes 3 varieties of games from the Mill family, including 3 men's Morris, 6 men's Morris, 9 men's Morris. Like chess is to checkers, Mill is to tic-tac-toe. Challenge your friends or play against the AI in the strategic board game that dates back to ancient Egypt.
What?
Oh.
I have no idea what any of that means.
No.
If there are any board game aficionados that are among our listeners, write in and tell me what is going on there. What is Rubenstein up to with
You
this mill?
stole
This
from
mill
us.
business.
You're stealing from us!
I don't know what that is.
Sorry.
I know.
We watched Pirates of Silicon Valley last
okay.
night, ate
All
some
right.
pizza, drank some beers. It
Yes.
was amazing. Scott Lowe had never seen it, so now
You're
he
going to
knows.
talk about Steve like that, man?
The man that feeds you!
So is this a comedy? I've never heard of this
it's
movie.
a TNT drama.
Inadvertently.
TNT drama from '99 about Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and the rise and fall there. It's funny because it ends with Apple completely kind of effed and destroyed,
Yeah.
and then of course Apple went on to do everything else.
Oh, okay.
But it's just their whole thing about the personal computer.
Okay,
it's
got it.
It's a great movie. I've always
I
thought
really
it's
like
really
it.
interesting. But some of the scenes are so dated now that there's just so many his acid trip for no reason, and there's a fight on a beach where you're gonna talk that way about Steve, the man that feeds you.
It's so good. You guys have
Everybody
to
go
see that
Netflix it. It's not instant streaming sadly, but you can get the disc. Send in your reviews on the IGN scale. I'd love to know what you gave that.
And read the book, for God's sakes, it was based on.
No, you don't have to do that.
It's so good.
They made a movie, Noah Wiley, Anthony Michael Hall. It doesn't get any better.
And watch the DVD. And watch there's a bunch of, because it's old. It's a really old DVD. So there's awesome previews for these straight to DVD movies.
Yeah, all these straight to DVD movies.
It's look for it on DVD.
Okay, we're getting off track. I'm running out of time. It's time for reader mail.
All right,
Your
I'm ready.
topic a week enoughed it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot right away, Ryan Clements.
I'm ready.
Tony Mathers writes in. He says,
Hi, Tony.
You said that the original Dissidia is unlocked upon completion of Dissidia 2. Does my original save file from the first work with the second? I've been playing the original. Can I finish play it with the new one?
The easy answer is you can use your original save file, but here's the thing. All your original save file does is bring over character-specific progress. So if you've leveled up Tara to level 100, her level and her abilities carry over. Everything else does not carry over, like things like equipment, accessories, summons, all this stuff does not carry over. All the save data transfer is meant to do is to protect the time you've invested into building up these characters. But once you unlock the actual full Dissidia, the original Dissidia campaign, I mean you have to play through it again basically.
Okay.
Because it's been sort of redone. It's a lot of the same content, but they've incorporated all the tweaks from Dissidia Duodecum into Dissidia Ducacum into the original.
Can't believe so many people are pronouncing it wrong. Jay writes in. He says, Beyond.
Yeah.
Hey, nice job, Greg, on the Arkham City Rewind. Quick question. Are we getting all the same voice actors from the Asylum, i.e. Joker, Batman, etc.? I don't remember hearing Mr. Wayne speaking in the latest trailer. Jay, unknown at this time. They've made no super official announcements. Clearly, you're getting Mark Hamill as the Joker, and you are getting Kevin Conroy as Batman. So the two most important people are there. And Mr. Wayne speaks at the end of the trailer. He's the one that says to the Joker, "You were lying all along. You were never sick."
I'm super
There's nothing
jazzed
wrong
about
with
that
you,
game, man.
Yeah, the trailer. I like the trailer. Did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
Did you like the song that plays over it? A lot of people are torn up over the song.
Who's Mr. Wayne? Is that
Bruce Wayne.
Oh, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he didn't hear Batman's voice.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's there at the end.
Okay, yeah.
I'm super. There's a lot of good games coming out later.
I thought when you said Mr. Wayne, I thought you were talking about his dad, and I was like, I thought
Little
he was
Wayne?
dead.
Dude, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking about all the shit that's coming out later this year.
Yeah.
It's like Uncharted and Resistance and Rage and Batman, and isn't Skyrim coming out and all these? It's like I don't understand where I'm gonna find the necessary time to
have to quit your job.
to play all these games. Yeah, maybe.
Sucks. Brian writes in, and I think he's a bit confused.
Okay.
But he gets to a real question eventually.
Okay.
I want to ask you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to sneeze. No.
I'm ready. No, you
Brian
good?
said, I want to ask this question live on Sunday at the GameScoop panel, but there were too many people in line. So here it goes. Before the move came out, it seemed like Greg and maybe a few other IGNers were really excited about it. That's a bold-faced lie, Brian. I was never excited for the move. I always thought, am I wrong?
What the hell?
Is that us?
No, there's a room next door to us, and we can hear the phone. Can everybody else hear that?
Interesting.
Anyway, was I excited?
No, I think we were interested.
Okay.
Well, you were definitely. Remember during E3 and we first were trying out some of the move
GDC,
stuff?
and I was like, oh my god, I'm sick to my stomach. This is the biggest.
No. Remember E3 when we went to those little like for sports champions and all the party game.
Okay.
Like you and
you
and I definitely had an excited conversation about it when we were like, "Holy crap, this could actually be really cool."
Okay.
And then it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, we
I apologize.
We also had the podcast where we said like we were all more interested in Connect before E3, and then afterwards it seemed like Move actually had more potential.
Okay. Okay, that's fine then. All right.
Yeah.
I take back some of my venom, but I don't know if I was really excited.
Don't take all of it back.
So can I extract it by sucking it out of your leg?
Sure. Get to work.
All right.
Did I stop the thing? Do we have to worry about that in the new podcast room? Does it stop when I kick the table? No? Okay, good.
No, we're good.
I was an early adopter and bought it on day one and have loved it ever since, but now when the topic comes up at IGN, everyone just kind of groans and laughs about it. Do you even care about Move anymore? Will games like Sorcery make you give it another look? Brian. I mean, the short answer for me personally, Brian, is no. I don't really care that much about Move. Like, so that's the answer right there. I personally don't care that much about Move. However, I am excited about what could be done with it. There are games that look cool with it. Sorcery looked cool
Sorcery
with it at E3.
Sorcery
I'd
looks
like
really
to see
cool.
that. But like Killzone and SOCOM with it. Well, no, SOCOM I did enjoy a lot. SOCOM I want to play with it when it comes out and see. Killzone I never liked the first-person shooter with the thing because.
I was excited about it because we finally got the game and we got Sports Champions. We got it pretty early or whatever, and Sports Champions was awesome. I really liked Sports Champions, but like nothing has been done that's interested me since, and that's the problem. Sorcery is the only game that's like on my radar that I'm even interested in that I know about.
Gotcha.
That's going to use it. Is Child of Eden going to use the move?
They have not confirmed nor denied that information.
I could only assume.
Yeah, it seems like it
very
makes
reasonable.
Purpose.
But I think ultimately all three of us would be down for any Move game if it's good.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
if it's cool, then it's cool. That's all there
I
is
don't
to
think
it.
any of us have a blatant hatred or something for the Move. It's just that we don't. The games that are being put out with it, we're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the Wii.
Next, remember that show on MTV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Chick walks onto the bus and she's like,
as soon as she gets out, next, and she's like, oh man, that show was awesome.
I think those are instant streaming. Matt writes in and says, has there been a change in some IGN policy recently? I've been listening to gaming podcasts for the past couple of years, mostly for something to do while I walk across campus. God, I'm screwing this all up. I have rarely heard anyone on an IGN podcast talk about or even mention some of IGN's competitors. But, on GDC, Podcast Beyond Diaries, you had all sorts of people on. What gives? No, Matt, I don't think there's ever been a hard policy or a policy change for sure. I think what you're seeing is people mature a bit, before when we weren't, I'm here now I'm coming up on 5, I just celebrated 4 years. So I'm into my 5th year now, right?
This is my applause. You can't really hear it.
So it's kind of like that thing where, you have ownership of everything. I think one of the biggest problems with the video game industry, if you will, right? I air quoted the industry, right? Yes. Or at least the game press side of it, right? Is that people do get really caught up in, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to talk to them, they're IGN, or I don't want to talk to them, they're Kotaku, blah, blah, blah. And you create it in your head that there's something weird. Every time I've been to an event, and I go to events with the same people all the time, and for a long time did not speak to them just because they never spoke to me. And then finally I realized that they were just as awkward and as uncomfortable to be at an event not talking to anyone as me, and started talking to everybody, and everybody's cool. Or at least most people that I run into are cool. Yes. Because we're all the same kind of people. We all like games, and we all want to do what we do. So it's silly for us to sit here and have grudges, and especially for sites to talk shit on one another on a personal basis or anything. If you see them doing that, then they're not cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're welcome to say, I didn't agree with that IGN review. I don't think like this. I don't enjoy Podcast Beyond because they get off topic.
Right.
Constructive criticism like that, always fine. But when somebody's
for sure.
like, oh man, Greg Miller's such a douchebag.
Yes.
I saw him eat that burger once.
We don't like that.
I like burgers.
Did you print out anything for Comment Corner, by the way?
I did not print out anything.
Oh man, people were pretty excited for you to do that for Homefront.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
so
I let you all down. I failed you all again.
You didn't fail us. You're still here.
I just want to.
Greg, I have a question for you, Greg.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about this and alluded to it last week, and it's just a question. It's not saying we're going to, but should we do an editor beatdown for Homefront?
Yeah, I thought you were.
Yeah, should we do it?
That's why you wanted me to hold on to the thing, yeah.
All right, I think we should do it this week.
Okay. Do it like... What's wrong?
Well, you guys, please go ahead, but I will be traveling this weekend. So I probably won't be available for any editor beatdowns. But I don't care about Homefront anyway.
All right. Well, that's fair. Do you have a battle code?
Yeah, I have a battle code.
Okay. Because I used 2 of the battle codes.
Okay.
So one of the ones that's floating around is used.
Oh, maybe it's not.
No, but I took it out. So if you have it in your box, that should be good.
I'll buy it.
All right. So what we'll do? I just wanted to say this because I know you're in a rush. I don't want to drop it on you at the end. We'll do it. What do you want to do? It's Saturday.
Saturday, I'm doing a lot of work.
We're having dinner on Sunday.
I know. So what if we did after dinner? Or do you not want to rush through dinner to play Homefront?
No, we can do that. I mean, you have to go home, or unless you want to bring your system over and play it on one TV and not play it on the other.
That's possible. But what about Mike Mitchell? He's gonna be there.
That's true. Oh yeah, Mike. That's right.
All right. Well, do it Saturday night, maybe.
All right. Like 8.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So let's do Homefront. Yeah. Okay. Let's do a Homefront editor beatdown. We haven't done an editor beatdown in a long time. Homefront 8 p.m. Pacific on Saturday. This Saturday. And I guess we'll organize it on Twitter. So just keep an eye on Greg's or my Twitter, and we'll give you all the instructions.
Keep it on No Taxation.
Yeah, No Taxation on Twitter. I'll organize it. I'm not entirely sure how you make private parties on Homefront because I haven't tried to do it.
Real thorough review, huh?
Well, I didn't know anyone who was playing the game. I was playing with the developers. So so we'll organize. I think you can make parties of 16 and jump in a deathmatch together, so you're all on the same side. I think that's how it works. So we can try to do something like that. So keep an eye on my Twitter, and we'll organize. If you have Homefront, we'll play together. And I think we can actually get some trophies for jumping into with 16-player matches and stuff like that. So we'll have some fun.
Let's do that then. I'm going to bail. I have to go preview some games. Captain America and Thor at a Sega event. By the time you hear this, if there's anything to cover out of them, they'll be live for you because there's no embargo.
I'm gonna miss you, buddy.
It's okay.
Are Colin and I gonna finish the show here?
Yeah. There's 4 questions here. I think we could skip them though. Physical copy question from Alan Newberry. Scuba Owl wrote in about job offers. Michael did a PSN subscription thing about cloud saving. I don't even know if we answered that one. And then Daniel Mick wanted to know about preview events. Feel free to talk to them. But here's the big thing. On the back, you have people writing in to talk about Sonic. Remember, Colin wanted to know why people cared about Sonic. There it is.
Oh, okay.
Another free game at the end there.
Okay. Excellent.
All right.
Sounds good.
Beyond.
Thank you. Beyond.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Snack Pack sucks. Remember, Slopez sucks is what you have to post on the Snack Pack wall.
He's going to get so angry.
I know. He loves it. He loves being a star.
See ya.
Greg has put down his headphones, is walking away from the table.
Have a good day.
You're stealing from us.
Hey, Colin.
Hey, buddy.
So now it's up to us to round out this show. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to go over some of the Sonic stuff, or do you want to finish these questions off?
Let's. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I am kind of curious about the Sonic business.
All right. Do you want to read
it? Sure. Some of these are really effing long, though. Let's see. Let's do a summary from Jackson. I love Sonic as a character, but Colin is right. The 2D speed run platforming design really is not as amazing as some would like to think.
Yeah.
This is coming from a Sonic fan that played more Sonic titles than any of their franchises. Oh, that was the end of his statement. So apparently he said awesome stuff beforehand. Trying to walk. All right, so I don't know why that's good. Let's move on to Daniel. The appeal of Sonic, besides being way past cool, I like that term. It's way past cool.
Right.
It's just gone so far past cool. It's not even cool anymore. Is that his games are all physics-based speed platformers. It's like driving styles. Some want to slow down and look. Others want to be fast and enjoy the thrill of speed. Sonic is the latter, while Mario the former. Did that work? Wants to slow down. Sonic is the yes. Okay. Also, the PS3 emulation is sluggish and has button press delay, and I played it. Even the iPhone version is better. Oh, so apparently, according to Daniel, the PS3 version not so good.
I've heard that too, but this isn't nearly the first. I mean, I played it on Genesis. I played it on the Sega Genesis collection. I played it. I have it on Wii. So I mean, it's I don't know why the hell I downloaded it on Wii. I think it was for my friend actually when he was over. But yeah, but at the same time, Mario gives you the option to go faster. You can beat Mario 1 in like 6 minutes if you run through it. So, I mean, it's not like you can't, if you go 1-1, 1-2, and then take the warp or whatever to 4, and then 5, and then 8, or whatever the hell you have to do in that.
Right.
You can beat it really quick. So, I mean, it gives you options. Sonic, you have to go through quick. If you don't go through it quick, then the game turns into a sluggish nightmare. So, fair enough.
Well, but maybe I'll read, let's take a moment. Let's read one more somewhat larger email here. Okay. Is that okay with you, buddy?
All
right.
I'm not in any rush.
This is actually from Ruth. So we have a gal writing in.
Okay.
Since Colin asks so nicely, I, as a Sonic fangirl, will explain my love for all things 2D Sonic. Mario always looked like a moron to me, and whenever I played Super Mario Brothers, I always found it too easy and unchallenging. Interesting, because Super Mario Brothers is often considered challenging.
That's interesting.
Sonic the Hedgehog, any 2D version, was always a wondrous sight and a legitimate challenge. Also, the sheer speed at which he travels always excites, although that might have something to do with me being an adrenaline junkie. Every level had a different theme and different contraptions that could help or hinder you. Plus, every Sonic level has so many different routes to take and explore, especially if you want to find the goodies. But my first exposure to Sonic the Hedgehog as a character was through the cartoons, where he's voiced by Jaleel White.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, I remember.
No way.
Urkel.
I saw my first episode of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog when I was 7. I played my first Sonic game 2 years later. That's a cool little anecdote there. Thank you, Ruth. Again, I don't think this is going to change Colin's mind.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So the one thing I appreciate the email. Thank you for writing in. The one thing I take issue with is that the early Mario games are not easy, and
they're not.
No, they're not. And I think if any, Sonic's difficulty is certainly not the problem with the game. It's because the game's not hard. It's hard because it doesn't control well. The first Mario game, I mean, it's interesting because the first Mario game, especially when you get to World 8 and there's like all the Hammer Brothers and everything, people just run all the way through it. If you get your timing right and jump in certain places, you don't have to deal with anything. If you go slowly through it, then you're going to have a lot of problems or whatever. So it's kind of ironic that those particular stages require speed. Mario 3 and Super Mario World are easier games, but they require a lot of time. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's tough to compare the two. I was just comparing Super Mario World with Sonic because they're contemporaries on their systems, and they were the pack-ins for those systems. I mean, obviously Alex Kidd was the original pack-in on Genesis, but eventually Sonic became, the pack-in for Genesis. And you can't compare. I think Super Mario World's a 10.
Yeah. I would love to play Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario World and then play Sonic the Hedgehog back to back. I feel like I've never done a back-to-back comparison. So I should do that at some point. That should be a challenge today. Actually, that might make a fun feature to do as well.
Yeah.
So I'll consider that. Let's end our sort of user submissions with a free code from where? From Jan? Maybe this is from Jan. I don't know. It's like Greg kind of cut off the text here. I hope it's from Jan. If you wish to preview Pixie Love Rush.
Oh, it's a mini.
Pixie?
I think it's Pixin Rush, isn't it? Pixin Rush?
Oh, Pixin Rush. The text got screwed up. Here's a download code you can use in the American PlayStation Store. Here we go, guys. 5NBGCBN2BDKM. Enjoy. Thank you, Jan. Hopefully it's actually Jan and not just something crazy that I'm not even reading the right thing. Sounded like Greg wasn't really super excited about the other questions that we got.
If you want to read them, please do.
Well, let's do one. Let's do this. Here, do a little ditty or something while I'm reading.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say that I think that's done. Also, we have a solid hour and 3-minute long show already.
Yeah, that's
so that's good. And I have one other thing I wanted to add. The giveaway.
Oh yeah,
Should we talk about that?
That's exciting. I'm excited about this.
So, first of all, I'd love to do some trivia.
Okay.
So I want the users to email their answer to this trivia that Colin and I are about to create.
Okay.
To beyond@ign.com, which they can reach us, with anything really, questions, comments, concerns, love mail, whatever. Do you have any Final Fantasy IV related trivia that you'd like to ask? Something that might not be easily wikiable. Why don't you think about that?
I got it.
Oh, you got it already. You want to write it down?
I don't want to
write it down. I'm going to explain to the readers what we got here. During GDC, I had the absolute pleasure of interviewing Tokita-san, who and goodness gracious, I really hope I'm getting his name right, because if I didn't, I'm going to feel super bad. Like the movie Superbad. I had the pleasure of interviewing Tokita-san, and he is the original creator of Final Fantasy IV. Many years ago. I mean, I think they are already going on their 20-year anniversary, or they're getting close to it. Maybe 10 years. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I have no perception of time because I'm immortal. So Tokita-san, great to interview, and at the end of the interview, I was actually given a Square Enix Trading Arts version of Cecil, or Cecil, if you will, as his appearance in Final Fantasy Dissidia. In Dissidia Final Fantasy. So it's this really great figurine of Cecil. How do you say it, Cecil or Cecil?
I always say Cecil, but I think the name is Cecil.
All right.
It's like again when we were talking about Ninja Gaiden. It's just one of those things when you're a kid you have no idea how to say.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an awesome Cecil figure signed by the original creator of Final Fantasy IV. Let's see what.
Read it first because I don't. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? You can do it optionally.
If you're sure about this, then we should totally do. This should be the question.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah. All right.
If you're sure.
I am sure. If not, we'll update it. If I'm pretty sure that this is it. All right. So in the game, there's a character named Yang. Right. And he's like a martial artist, and his wife lives in a castle. I can't remember the town's name. It's like it starts with a D. Okay. Anyway, if you can talk to her. There's an optional time to go speak with the wife. You can speak to her multiple times because doesn't she give you the frying pan and stuff to like wake Yang up or whatever when he's out or whatever?
But it's been a long time.
Yeah, something of this nature. But there, if you talk to her at a certain time, she gives you a weapon. I think this is right. If not, we'll go look. Actually, we can re-record it maybe.
All right, no problem.
But she gives you a weapon. That's one of if you go visit her optionally. That's one of Edge's, who's a ninja in the game. One of his strongest weapons to throw in battle.
Okay.
Tell us what the name of the weapon is.
Tell us the name of the weapon. Email your answer to beyond@ign.com. The first person to send this email, you have to be a resident of the continental United States of America.
Too many of these problems, and a lot of it's our fault because when I give away games on Twitter,
I know we don't say this.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not saying it, then I have to give it to Canada, and then I say U.S. resident, and then I got someone in Puerto Rico, and unfortunately, I'm sorry. Yes, Puerto Rico is a territory, but it's international. We can't send it there. Yeah. So
we have to, unfortunately, and I very much apologize to our international listeners because we love you guys. This is just a logistics issue. It is not a lack of love for your support. So for those listeners that are fortunate enough to live in the continental United States, first person to email us, beyond@ign.com, what is the special item that Yang's wife gives you for Edge? Email now. Okay, I think that's it. Do you have anything else you want to chat about, Colin?
No, I'm anxious to go look this one up to make sure I got it right.
Let's go look it up. Let's end the show with a little ditty from John. Oh, by the way, for everyone asking, if you want your song to be featured on Beyond as our ending ballad, it's so much easier if you guys just email us on Thursday morning. So it's the most recent things that I can look through.
Yeah.
Also, that's probably going to guarantee that your song will be considered because I don't have to sift through hundreds of Beyond emails to find it. John was fortunate enough because he emailed it fairly late in the day on Wednesday, so it was close enough.
Well done.
Well done, John. John wrote, Beyond, hey guys, I made this song a little while ago, and it would make my week if you guys could play it on one of the Beyonds. I then could brag to everyone that my song was on Podcast Beyond, and then I can get the response, what the hell is Podcast Beyond?
That's fair.
None of my friends are gamers. If they are, I'm unaware of it. Thanks, John, i.e., the Electronic Zombie, which is awesome. John composed this ditty called Apocalyptic Boogie, which is so great. I enjoyed it. It's fun. Please listen, and again, send us all your Beyond inquiries to beyond@ign.com. Follow us on Twitter. I am Ryan Clements. My name on Twitter is Pwam Pwam Cider, like the drink, all one word. Colin is No Taxation, all one word. We tweet a lot. We do a lot of the tweets. We give stuff away on the Twitters. It would behoove you to
Yeah.
Hullabaloo. To follow. Anyway, all right.
And Game Over Greggy for Greg.
Oh yes, of course. And for the one and only Greg Miller, follow him at Game Over Greggy. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Colin, for joining me.
Thank you, Ryan.
On the Fireside Chats 2.5.
2.1.
2.1, yes. Beyond.